Hey friends, my name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to Monday Night Q&A and other things. What's better for 75mm analog rigs? 2S or 1S? A question with no answer. STV Drag, thank you for the subscription, my friend. Welcome to hell. This is the new BLV5 newbie drone Acroby. Which I did a live stream on a few days ago. Come on now. Is this being all glitchy and annoying? Oh, well, hold on. Premiere's still playing this video. Let me click stop there. That, in theory, will make it a lot better. Although, fair warning, YouTube has been a nightmare lately. This thing has me questioning everything. I did a live stream a couple days ago with the review, talking about like upgrades I would make, a bunch of flight footage, all the good stuff, and I've flown it a bunch since then. And just like when I went to 2S on the Walksnail 75mm build, it just sort of does everything better. Like with these 75mm rigs, what it's really starting to feel like is that first and foremost, like these 75mm rigs, I really don't like flying inside the house. They're too heavy. They make too much power unless you have like a massive house. Even upstairs in this house, which is pretty big, like the ceilings up there are like 15 feet. It's still too much. It's still too heavy. If you have belongings inside your house that you care about, and or you live with people that have belongings that you care about, hitting those things with a heavy 75mm rig is going to do a lot more damage. Inside the house, as far as I'm concerned, 65 does everything better. It's safer. It makes the house feel bigger, changes direction quicker. Everything is sort of better. Which leaves 75 millimeter rigs as outdoor, basically. Front yard, backyard, rip around the garden, shoot all these little tiny gaps in between like the trees and bushes and stuff. They are brilliant for that. I've been having such a blast doing that over the last like 5-6 months, I guess, that I've been really spending a lot of time on 75 mil rigs versus 65, because we've kind of like figured the formula out for 65 millimeter rigs. And so, yeah, outside, when you're doing that kind of stuff, there's also the opportunity to fly like really big, throw up over trees, you know, go railing down the street, chase, you know, your neighbors when they're coming home and whatnot. And 1S does an okay job, but man, 2S does it just as good. And like, even this is a pretty heavy 2S 75 millimeter analog rig. I can still do almost all of the close quarter stuff that I can do with 1S builds. To give you an example of the weight difference, this is about as heavy as it's going to get for a 75 millimeter 2S rig. It's got a big old heavy XT30, big old heavy, you know, battery with balance lead with XT30. This canopy is kind of heavy. This is a heavier camera than what I normally run. Big old 804 motors. This guy all up is 62.5 grams. The stream is just completely frozen. What the hell? That's on YouTube. I have 0 dropped frames in OBS. What the hell, dude? Oh, wait, maybe not. Hold on. What? What the fuck? EOS webcam, what are you doing? Why is it... Oh my god. I hate everything. Oh my god, I hate everything. Why is it like this? Why is everything like this? Why do things work less as time goes on? Why? Oh my god. Hold on. Oh boy. Dave S says camera slamming caught up to it. No, I only smashed the Logitech cameras. I wouldn't dare smash this DSLR. Hold on. Hey, there we go. All right. Very weird. I made the unbelievably dumb decision to update a couple of things the other day, and it's been a bit of a nightmare ever since. I don't know why I did it. I guess I just got tired of EOS utility telling me that it needed to update. And I was like, well, I've been ignoring this for a couple months, so I'm sure it's fine. What did I say? 62.5 grams, right? Yeah, 62.5 grams with a 2S 450 tattoo battery. Versus... What? Hold on. That can't be right. No. Surely not. 38.25. That's almost... I mean, it's not quite, but it's like... It feels like that's half as much. Holy cow. This is a Mobula 7 1S ELRS with big boy VCI 0802.8 27,000 kV motors, the new HQ ultralight biblades, comes with this canopy and camera, antenna swap to the ORT Micro V, and 450 mAh 1S batteries. That is absurd. I'm going to show you why that's absurd. It's on this memory card right here. Man, okay. There's definitely a difference when you're flying these two. So I flew 3 batteries on these guys back to back earlier today, and I've been flying these two a little bit to kind of get used to this, get used to the differences, and really kind of dive into it. But yeah, Sonny Michael, welcome, my friend. Thank you for the support. All right. This memory card coming out. This one's going in. I'm going to play those 3 flight files back to back, and you can make up your own mind. There's absolutely a difference flying around the little garden area in front of the house. For sure, there's a difference. The difference... the reason that I'm just bordering on being speechless right now is there's not that much of a difference as a as a pilot flying it. Like, there's absolutely a difference, but it's not that drastic. How the hell is this almost twice as heavy? Maybe in watching the flight footage there'll be a more drastic difference or something like that. Flying it though, yeah, wow, okay. So let me get this going. Let me start rolling this beautiful bean footage, and you can see what I'm talking about. So first up, we've got the newbie drone BLV5, 2S heavy. This is from the live stream the other night. Here we go. 41, 42, 43. Okay, so there's going to be 3 files in a row here that... Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you fucking kidding me? I tried to backdate EOS utility, and I couldn't find any older versions of it. This is not good. Fuck. Hold on. I'm looking at... Oh, here. Let's do this. I wouldn't be surprised if they crippled the free version of this. This software has been free for a long time. I'm gonna guess that Canon has crippled the free version of the software. If you upgrade it, it allows you to go up to 1080. But YouTube mangles live streams so bad that really doesn't make any sense. To do that. Wow, this is some bullshit. Should I go down to 360p? Is that what I need to do? Jesus. Use low resolution. No, I mean, it doesn't care. We're not going to connect wirelessly. Okay, well, I mean, there's pretty much nothing I can do. This sucks, dude. God damn. This is... Oh my god. What's Swarg 661? Well, in the background here, you're getting to see some of the 2S flying. That was weird. That was the all right, let's see how long it lasts this time. That was the VTX just like shutting off. The BLV5 VTX just shutting off on a crash. Unplugged it, plugged it back in, and it came back, which is interesting. Curtis Hayes says, look in your downloads for the old EOS utility. It's long gone. It's been like many months, unfortunately. I am taking a quick look though. EOS. EOS. Look in downloads. 0 items. There are... Oh my god. Oh my god. You absolute piece of asshole. Actually, you know what? There was a while that I had to reinstall EOS utility after every live stream. So there's actually a chance that it is in here. Maybe I have to do that again. Maybe I have to reinstall EOS utility 5 times a week. That'll be great. I can't wait for that. That was a great time period there. No, it's not in here. Nope, it's not in here. God damn it, dude. Why did I update it? Oh my god, why am I so dumb? Like, it's just the same goddamn mistakes over and over again. Like, what? I mean, there would have been a point where it would force me to update it. But, like, I know better, and I know to wait for that. God damn it. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to let this footage play. You got to see some of that one. Here comes some more. Newbie BLV5 2S. Big old heavy 2S analog rig. Make up your own mind. And then after this, you're going to see the 1S. 75mm analog rig that I've been kind of developing, and I'm to some extent I'm stacking the deck a little bit against the Acrobee, because the 1S rig that's going to play after this, I've tried a million different like prop motor combinations. It's like super well developed, whereas what you're watching right now is literally a bind and fly. The fact that this bind and fly does such a good job is kind of ridiculous, and at the same time super exciting, because like if a 2S analog 75 bind and fly is this good, when not if I custom build one, it's going to be insane. This flies a lot like the Walksnail 2S rig, and that's dragging around an extra 6 grams with the Walksnail system. What really impresses me about this is the fact that it barely cares about the extra weight. Like, this thing is super heavy, but like it just, you fly it and you're just flying. Like, you don't, it just doesn't feel as heavy as it is. It's really, really, really impressive. And so yeah, if it gets lighter, it's going to get even better runtime. We can run even smaller batteries. The tinywhoop.com 2S 300s are going to run for like 15 minutes on an analog 75mm rig. So yeah, kind of exciting. Weird. I really thought that 1S would be enough for 75mm analog rigs, right? Because analog is so lightweight. But yeah, I don't know. It just kind of, I thought that it was, and then I started flying the 2S builds, and I was like, oh my god, stuff like this, like throwing it up over the roof. My god, the 2S is just ridiculous. My god, look how this is hard to fly. The Newbie OSD chip, the OSD setup that they use makes the image pretty dark here. And it's not quite this bad in the goggles, but boy, the difference that you'll see in a minute when we swap over to the Happy Model board, which uses the regular OSD, is pretty shocking. That's really my main complaint with this BLV5, is just that, yeah, the analog video is just not great. It looks like this. It looks like what you're seeing here. I love Newbie Drone, but I really wish that they would move away from that setup and go back to the old giant OSD chip. But then they probably wouldn't be able to fit 18 amp, I think, FETs, which are on this AIO. So yeah, here we go. So I'm diving into, all right, so perfect example, right? The extra weight it carried a little bit of extra momentum there, and it got into the side of that tree. So here, watch this crash, right? Turning right, turning right. I'm expecting for it to change directions here as I'm turning left, and it just doesn't, and it just slides out into this tree. So that's the extra weight. That's like the probably 20 grams of extra weight that this thing is carrying, that if I did a custom 2S analog build, it would not have. Other than that, though, that's just me driving like an idiot. Great. But yeah, so there's definitely a place for 1S in terms of ultra lightweight. I will say this: if you're gonna build a 75mm rig to fly inside the house and outside the house, it's probably gonna be 1S. But the other weird thing is that like my Walksnail 2S rig weighs the same, if not more, it depends on which motors are on it, as the 1S Walksnail rig. And so it's just ridiculous. Like these 1S 450 mAh batteries weigh pretty much exactly the same as the Tiny Whoop 300 mAh 2S batteries. And the 300 mAh 2S batteries, that's a total capacity of 600 mAh, right? It's two 300 mAh pouches. So not only is it going to run at lower amp numbers because it's 2S, but it literally has more milliamps. So like, I feel like that battery is going to run, seriously, I think it's going to run for like 5 or 6 minutes, which is kind of obnoxious. Like, which is one of the things that's a little confusing here. Like, I don't really want that runtime, but I doubt anybody's going to make a 260 mAh 2S battery, so I think that sort of is going to be the battery. But yeah, I don't know. There's a little bit more of me flying like an idiot, just hitting the ground for no reason. Look at this throw. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my god. That's actually where the weight's kind of nice. There's yeah, people that fly 750, 800 gram 5-inch rigs would love to see that. That's their argument for flying 5-inch rigs that are that heavy, is that, oh, when I go to throw it over the roof, I can leave it inverted for 15 minutes. And okay, sure. Not my thing, but yeah, there you go. I believe this is the last battery. This is now a 350 mAh 2S battery, so you're going to see much lower flight time. Look at this thing just fight its way through this tree. It's like, nah, we're good. We got that 2S power on 804 motors. We'll just mash through. I couldn't believe I left it late, and that too. it's yeah, heavy 75mm rigs are interesting. But yeah, this battery gets a lot less runtime. Also, I yet again forgot to charge all of these batteries to high volt. These are all high volt batteries, but I only charged them to 420. So all of these runtimes would get like 20 or 30 extra seconds if I'd properly charged these batteries. So yeah, there's that. All right, coming up is the Jungle Gym Basher. And I've done a bunch of work to this, actually. I noticed that the X12 AIO was sitting a little bit low in the frame, and it was actually the board was touching the frame, sort of hard mounting it with the regular grommets that I used. So I grabbed some grommets that are a little bit taller on the bottom than they are on the top, and that fixed that right up. I also installed I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about this product that I just have to show you. From the Tiny Whoop order yesterday, I got a bunch of these really cool little PCBs with LEDs in them that function as 180-degree BT 2.0 leads. I put an orange one on here because the VCI motors are orange, so this is now like the orange rig. When I put this on, though, Butterfly FPV swears up and down that on these 75mm rigs, you need to go to a thicker gauge wire for your battery leads. And that is 22 gauge? 20 maybe? Where the hell is it? Where is it? I did that. I went to a thicker gauge wire. Hold on. Yep, 20 gauge. Normally, pretty much all Tiny Whoop battery wires are 22. Butterfly says that 20 is really important on the high power 75 millimeter rigs. So I did it. I was kind of hoping for more power, more runtime, mainly more runtime, because the issue that I'm having, I'm going to play the flight file here. The main issue that I'm having with this particular setup, as you're going to see here, is runtime. I am eating these 450 mAh 1S batteries in like 2 minutes. And when you do that, the batteries get really hot, and that hurts the batteries. Also, like 2 minutes is just not quite enough. Like 2 minutes is really when I'm starting to get like warmed up and I start flying really good. 2.5 minutes I'm okay with. 3 minutes for me is like the sweet spot. I absolutely love the flight performance of this thing. I really do. These motors, these are like the most powerful motors that I've found for 75 millimeter stuff. Unfortunately, they only have 1 millimeter motor shafts. I've flown about probably 30 batteries on these motors, and as you can see, the motor shafts are all bent up. There's all kinds of... It's not jello, it's just straight up vibrations. Like it's just vibrating really hard, and then that's making the video get really blurry. And so unfortunately, like as much as I love the power that these VCI motors make, the fact that they only have a 1 millimeter motor shaft, if you're gonna fly hard like this and crash, it's just kind of not realistic. So I am going to be doing a little bit more flying with 802s that have 1.5 millimeter motor shafts. The 1002s and the 1102 22,000 kV motors that are out there that have 1.5 mil motor shafts, they just don't have enough kV. They just don't make enough power. They end up being like cruising motors, and like that's kind of fun sometimes, but I really want the power to be able to like hurl up over the house. So like, look at this in tight here. Like, very obviously, this at almost half the weight is much more accurate in there, right? Like, I'm able to duck and weave in and out of these little tiny gaps a lot easier. But again, the Newbie Drone rig has like giant 804 motors, giant battery. There's a bunch of things that could be optimized with a custom, not bind and fly 2S analog rig. So yeah, super interesting stuff. I am again very thankful that Newbie Drone sent this thing over, because it's absolutely. I before this, I was kind of the mind, like, as long as you stay analog, 75 millimeter rigs are totally fine on 1S. If you do the extra 6 grams of Walksnail, you really kind of have to go 2S if you want that really good flight performance. But nah, I don't really know anymore. I really don't know anymore. This is the magic of a 1S 75 millimeter rig, is that you can kind of rip inside the house. This is very fun. Admittedly, this is like super difficult to fly. Like, it carries so much speed. Like, I can't even like settle down at all. Like, it's just constantly needing to be turned and flipped around and changed direction and all that jazz. So I wouldn't necessarily like recommend this for inside the house. 65s are still obviously king inside of the house. But like, if you're flying a warehouse or something like that, if like you're flying at work and there's like a massive warehouse, yeah, 2S would probably work just fine. But yeah, I wanted to give you guys, I did on the stream the other night, I did fly one battery on the Newbie Drone rig inside the house. It was like way more uncomfortable than this. I don't know why I'm still getting core temperature warnings on these now on X12s. It made sense when I was getting it on the 2G4s because they only had the 5 amp FETs, but I'm not having as much of a problem with it. But both of the X12s that I have running now are still giving me core temperature warnings here and there. On this rig, it could just be because these motor shafts are so beat up that it's generating a bunch of extra vibrations, which are getting the PID loop all excited. But yeah, I don't know. It's 75mm rigs are annoying. Speaking of annoying, hold on. I'll pause to just be annoyed. Lot of people are having problems with the new Beta FPV Air 65 4-in-1 and 5-in-1 AIOs with the UFL pads for the video antenna ripping off. Beta FPV has said it's because of where their little G-string canopy here sits. The side here, you can see I've cut it off. The side here sits right next to where the UFL is. Where's the front of this damn thing? So the front of it's there, right? And so the UFL used to be right there. And Beta FPV has said that you need to like clearance this part of the canopy basically to make sure it doesn't hit the UFL. I did that. I clearanced this canopy like this before I ever flew this 5-in-1 board. I changed the antenna one time. I just went to change the antenna a second time, and the goddamn UFL ripped off, and it took the entire trace with it. So, yeah. The Ultra Meme 40,000 kV, 16.4 gram Air 65 build is toast, and I'm not gonna rebuild it with the direct soldered motors. I'm not doing it. I'm especially not gonna get another one of these and have the goddamn UFL break off again. I think this also happened to Rosser, and he rightly said that just never unplug the UFL. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm very frustrated. I think I only flew like 3 batteries on this thing, and I believe they were all in the live stream. I was really excited to fly this earlier today, but then I was like, oh, I had this garbage antenna on there, and I was like, oh, I'll put a nice little white micro V on it, and yeah, the UFL broke right off. So, I don't know. This FPV, man. It's like some sick joke that is being played on us. I don't know. I guess I do have. Oh, maybe I will. What do you got? You guys decide. I'll let you guys decide. I do have this prototype Air 65 with the external receiver, which is like a little bit of a weight penalty, but it's not bad. Oh, perfect. Here. This is what I'm talking about. This canopy I have not clearanced. So that's where the UFL sits on both the 5-in-1 and the 4-in-1. And like you see how close that canopy is to the UFL. So like during crashes, right? Like the whole thing flexes and moves and shit. And so yeah, that's what they're saying is the reason that the UFLs break off. But yeah, I have not found that to be true. I don't know what it is, man. Lately, I feel like so many components, so many AIOs that come out have this issue with the UFLs breaking off. I don't know what's happening. But what do you guys think? Should I keep this as a stock Air 65, or should I rip this apart? And I'm not doing it. Never mind. I don't care what you guys want for a change. This is staying a stock Air 65 because that's nice to have. It's nice to have it so that if somebody says, "Hey, what is it? What's the meaning of life?" I can be like, "It's this." Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna desolder these motors. These are 40,000 kV 0702s. I'm gonna desolder these. and then I'm gonna buy some of those Weebleed 0702 1.5 millimeter motor shaft bells. I'm going to put those bells onto these motors, and I'm going to direct solder these motors to something. If there's a set of 0702s that deserve to be direct soldered, it's the 40,000 kV ones. I don't know what I'm going to put these on, but they have to come off of this 5-in-1 because it no longer has an antenna. Luckily, Beta FPV sent me this 5-in-1. I did not buy this 5-in-1. Although, if I had bought this 5-in-1, I would contact whoever I bought it from and say, yo, you need to be able to, if they're going to put a UFL on a board, you need to be able to unplug and plug an antenna from it more than once. Send me a new one. So, yeah. That was today's annoyance. Back to the flight footage, railing this super powerful 1S 75mm rig around in the house. That little excursion in the stairwell is an example of 75mm rigs just being kind of heavy, and they're just, yeah, they're not for inside, in my opinion. Yet again with the core temperature warning. I don't know. It's coming down, but like I wouldn't think with 12 amp FETs we would need to worry about that. But hey, what do I know? I just work here. This UFL actually popped off during the intro of this live stream. During the intro of the live stream, I was like, oh, let me just change the antenna real quick. But instead, I ruined an all-in-one. If anybody wants it, you can have it. I don't know what the hell you're going to do with it, but I'm going to throw it in the trash can. So, if you want it, pay me $5 for shipping and you can have it. So, there you go. One last battery, back outside. This thing flies great, don't get me wrong. Like, these motors are awesome. They make really good power. The efficiency is not great. And the durability is not great. And those two things are important. So, yeah, I don't know. If you're going to fly over grass and not crash into concrete or trees or, you know, metal, these VCI motors are awesome. And if you can, if you don't care about 2-minute runtimes, if you don't fly this hard, you'll get a longer runtime. But I'm flying these, like, as I fly these things outside more and more, I'm flying them harder and harder. Which I think is why, like, I was happier with these 75mm builds a few months ago. This is really fun, though. Like, flying this hard outside is super fun, and it like suits the environment. Like, in the front and behind your house, you've got all this space, right? And like, to fly an underpowered rig in this space, it's not my favorite thing. Like, it's way more fun to fly harder and to have something with the extra power, to be able to like fling it up over the house a little bit more. And 2S will do that with practically no weight penalty. Here's going to be the problem, though. What the hell AIO do we run? At this point, I think I'm just going to have to go on to every single retailer and pretty much just buy every single AIO that's 2S. I mean, technically, I guess the first one that I'll do is an X12, because the X12 claims that it'll do 2S. I've never tried it, but hey, what the hell? You're watching an X12 right now. I don't know if I'll do it with this one. I'll probably do it with the one that the USB port no longer works on, so that if I blow it up, it's like, well, whatever. Hopefully, I can do the things that that might be a problem, though. I'm not going to be able to reverse the motor whatever, I'll figure it out. But yeah, there you go. Kind of short runtime. What were we? 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and I ran the battery down pretty good. It's bouncing back to 3.66, but it's kind of stalled right there. So I ran this battery down a little bit more than I normally run the batteries down, and it's still only got 2 minutes and 5 seconds. So yeah, there you go. That's kind of the main thing that I wanted to dive into on this live stream is 1S versus 2S. CiottiFPV.com is my little website where you can support me if you like this kind of content. Patreon helps me the most. $3 a month, you can jump on board. For $5 a month, you can get in on some giveaways that I do the first Monday of every month, or 10 or 20. If you want to be on if you only fly Tiny Whoops, and so you want to jump onto the Tiny Whoop $5 a month tier, but you decide like, hey man, this gangly motherfucker is doing really good work. I want to give him $10 a month instead of $5 a month. You can do that. Join the Tiny Whoop tier. That'll get you entered into the Tiny Whoop giveaways, and then you can go in there and manually change the dollar amount of your Patreon donation. That would be super cool. I would love that. But it's all good. There's a bunch of ways that you can support me that are free. The best one is all of these affiliate links. If you're ever doing orders on any of these websites, if you hit my affiliate link at any point before you check out, I will get a small percentage of your entire order. If you're buying like a portable home on Amazon and you hit my affiliate link before you check out, I will send you a sticker free of charge. The easiest way to do this, because there's no way in hell you're going to remember to come to my little website here and click these before you check out, is just to change your bookmarks over to my affiliate links. Or if you don't use bookmarks and you just type, the beginning of a website name into the URL bar, do that. Type AMA for Amazon, for example, and you can either right-click this, or there'll be like a little X off on the side that says remove suggestion. You can remove all of your suggestions when you type AMA. And then if you hit my Amazon affiliate link a couple times in a row, your browser will think that when you type AMA, you want to go to my Amazon affiliate link. And then you don't have to think about it. If you don't use my affiliate links, use someone else. Those of us that are making content here on YouTube, we rely on this. This is our livelihood. And so this is a completely free way for us to have a little bit more food. And look how skinny I am, man. I need more food. Food's expensive now. God damn it. Amazon, Get FPV, Pyrodrone, Race Day Quads, Newbie Drone, Weebleed FPV, Beta FPV, FPV Cycle, Oh My God, Brain 3D, HDZero, Flywoo, Emacs, Banggood, Camera Butter, AliExpress. Those are all the affiliate links I have. It makes a huge difference. It's super easy to use them. Hook us up, yo. If you don't use mine, use somebody else's. Etsy, I've got some really fun stuff for sale. Fiverr, you can work one-on-one with me, or you can just message me. All my contact info is up here. Teespring has some fun shirts, and then PayPal if you want to just donate directly, but you don't want YouTube to take 30% of your super chat. That's how you support me, my friends. In the chat, if you want to talk to me directly, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV. If you do that, it'll light up an orange, and I'll see it. Islander FPV did that, and he says, do you use dynamic idle on your 75mm 1S rigs? Unfortunately not. The developers have said that on all 1S rigs, dynamic idle has the potential to blow up your ESC. I don't know if that's true or not, but the developers know more than I do, and dynamic idle doesn't make that much of a difference, so I don't use it on anything 1S anymore. I just use the regular old school idle setup. But 2S and beyond, you can use dynamic idle, and it works great. Islander also says, getting some desync dropouts on my Meteor 75 Pro with the stock settings. So stop using it. Stop using dynamic idle and see if that helps. Here's the thing, though. When you stop using the dynamic idle, whatever the dynamic idle is set to, when you turn it off, when you change it to 0 and turn it off, which turns on the regular idle settings, the regular idle setting is not going to be the same amount as the dynamic idle number. And so your problems will more than likely go away because that regular idle setting is probably going to be a little bit higher than dynamic idle. So you're your desyncs might not be because of the dynamic idle problem, but just stop using it anyway because the devs say to not use it on 1S rigs. You know what I'm saying? But for the record, don't go around telling everybody, oh, I had this build that I was using dynamic idle on, then I turned on the regular idle and the desync problems went away. Like those are potentially two separate things. Maybe they're not, but you know what I'm saying? This is not like, don't spread that. Spread, if you're on 1S, the devs say not to use dynamic idle. That is fact. And spread facts. Don't spread hearsay. Because, you know, it's bad. Frank Nicholas says, audio is okay, just face video, not desk video. It's, look, we're good. It shit the bed twice in a row, but now it's been fine. Maybe it just needed to get warmed up. 661 says, did you try hitting it? It's the software. I can't hit software. What? I hit it with the mouse pointer. Maybe that helped. I hit it with my mind. BMF Spade FPV says, how do you like the ORT Micro Vs? Thinking about getting some. They are amazing. They're like, as far as I'm concerned, they're indestructible. I don't know how you would break one of them. I really don't. I have smashed the living balls out of these, and they just don't care. They are very lightweight, and they just work. Yeah, like these, I've not found a tiny little antenna that does everything as well as these. The cable is just long enough where you can get it far away from the AIO, so you actually get good signal. Yeah, they're awesome. I can't find I was about to say I can't find anything wrong with them. I actually can. The full length ones, the regular ones that you can buy from race day quads, if you stick them out the top of a canopy like this, they are just long enough where if you crash just perfectly wrong, they can bend down and get wedged in between the propeller and the duct. And then you're taking the walk of shame. That's the only problem that I've found with them. So what I did is I looked up ORT, the company that makes this, which stands for Old Radio Technology. Is that not the most satisfying thing you've ever heard? I just shot ORT a message on Instagram, and I said, hey, what's your minimum order quantity? I love your Micro V, but I would love to get them in slightly shorter length. They got right back to me, and they said 10, quantity of 10 is our minimum order. They're over in Europe, so yeah, the shipping was it wasn't that bad. They ended up costing me pretty much exactly what I paid for them from race day quads, but with the little bit of extra shipping, which is totally fine. And yeah, I've now got a box of 10 of the shorter ones. That's what I was trying to swap on to the Air 65 when the goddamn UFL broke off. Yeah, I can't. I know a bunch of you guys have been running these because I've been talking about them for months. Have any of you guys found any problems whatsoever with these? I'm tempted to say that this is just the tiny whoop antenna. Like, it is the perfect tiny whoop antenna. The only thing I really think you could complain about is that it is a little bit heavier than the ultra jank, ultra lightweight antennas. But in terms of like performance, like video getting to your goggles cleanly, it is night and day. This is awful, and this is fantastic. So like, if you want to be able to see where you're going, it's a no-brainer. If you're building a super hardcore race rig and you're going to be standing 15 feet away from where you're flying it, yeah, okay, you can do this like stupidly lightweight whip antenna with the ground plane removed. But like, man, I'll take, well, let me see what the weight penalty is. I haven't actually weighed one of the Micro Vs in a while. I kind of forget what they weigh. I know they're really lightweight, but we have the ability. So the ultra lightweight Jankalotopus antenna, I think, is 0.2 of a gram. Yeah, 0.2 of a gram right on the nose. You could probably make it a tiny little bit lighter, but like, come on now. The ORT Micro V is... Yeah, see, that's 0.5. Like, an extra 0.3 of a grams, an extra 0.3 of a gram, and you can see where you're going. Come on. That's an absolute no-brainer. Also, this is the other thing. So I had to make this a little bit shorter. I also had them leave the shrimp wrap here between the PCB and the wire a little bit longer. And shrimp wrap is actually really heavy. Shrimp, if you've ever weighed a shrimp, they're heavy little bastards. And so when you take off their exoskeletons to make shrimp wrap, it's heavy. Shrimp wrap is heavy for what it is. It doesn't look heavy, but it actually is. So a regular Micro V, yeah, you could probably lighten it up a little bit. I had him leave a little bit more shrimp wrap because it's delicious, and I like to lick my antennas. It gets like exponentially more unhinged around here. Is there going to be a point where I just go completely off the reservation? That's probably a bad thing to say. I'm certain that that's a bad thing to say. That's probably very disrespectful to American Indians. Off the rails is what I should have said. Yeah, there's going to be a point where you actually get to see a grown man go legitimately insane, if you haven't already. Like full-blown insane, though. Like no coming back from it. So if that's not a reason to like and subscribe, I don't know what is. Frank Nicholas says, face video is frozen again. Thank you, dude. Yeah, BMF Spade FPV, get yourself some Micro Vs. Race Day Quad sells the regular ones, which are totally fine. They get caught in the props extremely infrequently. But if you've got a reason to buy 10 of them, feel free to contact ORT, and yeah, they'll make you some custom ones. Tell them CiottiFPV sent you. Maybe they'll sponsor me. Great Scott says screen frozen. Thank you, dude. Great YouTube name. Hey, did I not shout you beautiful bastards out? Curtis Hayes, Cloudhopper, Freeload, Frank Nicholas, Spoken Dog, Cujo, Becco Beck, Uriel, FPV Toast, Tongue Out FPV, Grakana, Can I Get a Channel, Scotty Scott, Rockcrawler, Jay Wong, Morton Upshot, Douglas 6, Islander FPV, Skull 901, Spaceman Spiff, 661 FPV. I'm gonna read. That's the full first page of people. If you want me to read your name, either just tag me or get here early and say hello. You can always just tag me though and ask a question, and then I'll go. Curtis Hayes tagged me and said, "Look in your downloads folder for the old EOS utility." No such luck. 661 FPV says Orca goggles bootloader manufacturer that bricked all the Orca goggles. How did I not hear about that? What the hell? Wow. When did that happen? I did not pay much attention to Orca goggles. That's insane. Good Lord. I'm shocked that I didn't hear about that. King Dingaling, one of my favorite YouTube screen names, says, I'm excited to see what your Acroby flies like on a diet and Tiny Whoop BT 3.0s. Yeah, man, me too. I just gotta find an AIO. I mean, I would love to find a... Well, look, I'm gonna do an X12. I have two X12s right now. I'm gonna sacrifice one to the 2S gods, probably. Or maybe not. Maybe it'll be totally fine. I'm gonna put BT 3.0 on one because I have to know what the lightest possible 2S analog, 75 flies like. And yeah, it's an easy setup. I'll drop it into a Mobula 7 V3 frame. I don't know what the hell motors I'll put on it. I mean, it's not going to need a lot of motor because it's analog and it's going to be nice and light. So I could probably get away with an 802. I could probably do like an 802 19,000. This thing's going to be just unhinged. Yeah, I can probably do an 802 19,000. Oh man, if I want to be totally lazy, I could just do these. These that I just got from Tiny Whoop. These Hex 802 19,000s. Oh man. I really wanted to use these bells somewhere else, but no. I'm going to use these. Yeah. I kind of have to. I mean, it's just kind of silly to not. So these are the lightweight one-piece bell with 1.5mm motor shaft, and these just make way too much sense to use. So yeah, it's going to be these motors initially, and then yeah, just this. I'm basically just going to take this. These VCI motors, what's really annoying is I just put this orange lead on here, but whatever. These, I feel like these VCI motors need to come off here. They're all banged up. They're all vibrating and shit. I'll fly another couple batteries so that I have a whole bunch of flight footage to show what these VCI 0802.8 27,000s fly like. Because these are the best. These are the best 1S 75mm motors that I've found in terms of power to weight ratio, basically, and like flight characteristics. But yeah, the 1mm motor shafts are just a bit of a deal breaker for me because I crash hard and often. So yeah, that's I guess what I'm just gonna do. That's just too easy to do that. That's gonna be wild. I'm gonna almost guarantee you that it gets 5-minute run times. I'm saying it now. Flying hard, like railing in the front yard, because it's gonna be on a 300 mAh 2S, which is 600 mAh. So 150 more mAh than the 1S 450s, and it's double the voltage, so it's gonna be more efficient. And it's not really gonna weigh more. You don't believe me? Watch this. 450 mAh 1S is 13 grams, right on the nose. Tiny Whoop 2S 300 mAh battery with a BT 3.0. It is a little bit more. Oh, it's more than I thought. 15.09, call it 15 grams. So 15 grams versus 13 grams. Are the Weebly batteries heavier? I bet you the Weebly batteries are heavier. That's probably what I was... Yeah, 12.4. It's still a difference. 12.4, 16. There's... Oh, wait, no. 12.4 is less. How is that possible? 13. What? 12.4. Look at the size of the difference in the plastic part. I thought for sure the BT 2.0 would be lighter because the plastic bit is smaller. See how it stops here? Whereas the plastic bit on the Weebly goes all the way down here. But yeah, it might be the little bit of hockey tape that I have wrapped around here, but whatever. Regardless, the 2S 300 mAh battery is not much heavier. And we're doubling the voltage. That's the big thing. We are doubling the voltage, right? Like on 5-inch rigs, when we went from 4S to 6S, it was only going up by 50%. It wasn't going up by 100%, right? We are doubling the voltage, which is gonna like just the efficiency difference is gonna be mad. So yeah, I'm saying it, man. 5 minutes. I'm probably gonna be wrong there, but yeah, runtime will be nuts. Spaceman Spiff says, I'll buy the Air 5 from you. Message me, it's all yours. Save it from the garbage. Curtis Hayes says, I love my Air 75. So far, I haven't seen a reason to jump on to 2S other than it's heavier and might be able to throw more. By the way, cut the shrimp wrap off the Air 65 TX and it's under 5-in-1 weight. No way. That's insane. That does kind of make sense though, because the AIO is a thick PCB, that little receiver, they can make it a tiny little thin PCB. So that actually kind of makes sense. Yeah, Beta FPV had said they were going to send me an Air 75. I don't know, man. The UFL popping off thing is super annoying. If they send me one, I'm sure it's great. What's that weigh? What's the Air 75 weigh? Let's compare real quick. So the Air 75 has 802. Sorry, this cloth tape is doing that thing that cloth tape does, where like the individual strands come off, and I can't not sit here and peel them off. It doesn't matter what. There could be nuclear war happening. I'm like, hold on. Let me just. There's a string. Let me just get it. Hold on. Just give me a second. I can look up on the website what the Air 75 weighs. This 1S 75mm rig with considerably more power than the Air 75 weighs 25.2 grams. Call it 25 grams. What's the Air 75 weigh? 25 grams versus Beta FPV Air 75 weight. 21 grams. Okay, so 4 grams lighter. That's pretty light. 4 grams lighter, but much less power. Much lower kV motors, much smaller stator volume motors. And so, yeah, like this thing probably makes at least 40 or 50 more grams of thrust, which will obviously completely offset the all-up weight difference of 4 grams. The Air 75 will get much better runtime, though, because it's lighter and because the motors make much less power. But this makes the amount of power that I want. The Air 75, I can just tell by looking at the all-up weight and knowing and having run 802 motors at, I think they're 22,000 kV, that it's not going to make enough power for me. And so, yeah, for me, 2S is going to be the way. But everybody's different, right? Like, I show you guys the flight footage, I break it all down for you, and you make up your own minds. Not everybody is as... Not everybody flies as aggressively as I do and is as demanding as I am of builds. Also, you know, your yard could be different. You could have like really like a low canopy on all of your trees, and there's no reason for you to go full throttle and throw it, you know, 30 feet up in the air. So yeah, again, this is not me telling you like what you should buy. This is me giving you guys my experience, and then you figure it out. So yeah, there's like, Curtis loves his Air 75. He's not wrong. It's not like, Curtis, you're such an idiot, you should be flying this. Like, that's not it at all. You guys all have to make your own decisions. And that's totally fine. Curtis Hayes also says, have you tried the TuneRC Poly F405 AIO? I have not tried any TuneRC AIOs. I didn't think that they made any with... what I really want is ELRS and VTX built in. There's probably only going to be like 1 or 2 AIOs that will do that. And so I'm going to try them first because that's the easiest build and it's the lightest. And then if they're not reliable enough, I'll branch out and I'll start running external VTX or external receiver. I'm pretty sure that the TuneRC Poly F405... I think it has ELRS. I don't think it has a VTX built in. It's got 5 UARTs available, so there's no way in hell it has all those things on it. 20 amp MOSFETs, Jesus. This might not have either. I am absolutely unwilling to run an external VTX and an external receiver. That's just stupid for a tiny whoop. So that is not happening. This doesn't have either. So yeah, this is for sure a no-go. But I believe that TuneRC does have one of these that's got one or the other on board. I'm pretty sure it's ELRS on board, which is cool because then I can just run an external, a little like Pro 32 or something like that. whatever. I've heard great things about the TuneRC AIOs. I will be running them. I will run one at some point. But again, first I'm gonna go with 5-in-1, where it's got ELRS and VTX on board. Zoe101 Dog with a Blog says that ORT is responsible for the death of my X12 75mm rig after a single flight into a tree. It snagged on the PCB and ripped off the UFL with it. That's super annoying. I guess I can kind of see that happening. So it's got a little bit of a... So, like, if you think about this crashing through branches, right? Like, my fingers are the branches. I can kind of see a branch catching on this. It looks like a little fish hook. Don't, like, figure out how to mount this like this so that that little fish hook is down, right? Because then, in theory, they'll just fold over it. Make sure you're not mounting it so the fish hook is up. That's bad. Yeah. So make sure you can mount it in a way that the fish hook is down. Now that I look at this guy, the UFL's in the back. So like, yeah, this is scary. I didn't think about that. It's a really good point. So yeah, this is a little bit creepy. I got to figure out a better way. What I'm probably going to do is run it through the bottom hole in the canopy here. Which will bring this whole thing down a little bit. Good call. Thank you for mentioning that. Frosty with a $15 super chat. He says, for the shrimp wrap fun. Thank you, brother. Very cool of you. Where was I in the chat? YouTube did the thing. Scrolling. King Dingaling says, only issue is the length, which your version fixes. You got to call that antenna the Shrimp Wrap Micro V. Nice. Smoking Dog Kuja says, how long are the antennas you order? I want to say I told him 2 millimeters shorter. It was not much. I was a little bit gun shy of making them too short. Because like different AIOs have the UFL in different locations, so I was very yeah, gun shy about that. I'm literally looking for the conversation that we had on Instagram. Why am I doing it that way? Just search for ORT, and then. Oh my god, I think it's O.R.T. Nope. Is it old? It's old radio transmission. Old radio transmission, not technology, sorry. Old radio transmission. Derpa. Okay. Okay, no. All right, yeah, I was wrong. I asked him to go 4 millimeters shorter on the wire, and then I asked him to leave 2 millimeters extra shrimp wrap. That's what it was. So yeah, 4 millimeters shorter on the wire itself. And so in doing that, this is an X12 with the shorter one. It is like perfect. It just hangs the longer shrimp wrap, and you could, like, if the shrimp wrap being longer was a bad idea, you can just go in there with little flat cutters and cut it down a little bit. So yeah, but it's like the perfect length. There's a chance that it's too short with the shrimp wrap, and I might need to cut the shrimp wrap because what it does is it ends up like almost starting to pull on the wire. And like worst case scenario, it pulls really hard and rips the UFL off. I would think that the wire would probably pull out of the UFL first before it ripped the UFL off the board. But I just don't know. But yeah, 4 millimeters shorter seems to be just about perfect. Have I put one onto... here's one on a Mobula 6 2024. It sticks out a little bit farther because of the UFL location there, but that's okay. It's still kind of great. Do I have one on a 2G4 yet? I do not. But the 2G4 UFL sits just a tiny little bit in front of the X12. So on a 2G4 with a Mobula 6 canopy, it's going to be like 1 millimeter shorter than this, which is kind of getting scary, but you can also put it out the bottom hole in the back of the canopy here too. So I think 4 millimeters shorter is about right. I think that's yeah, that's where it's at. Thrash FPV says, my X12 has been ripping 2S for over 8 months and over 100 batteries so far. No shit. Is BT 3.0 worth the hype and weight savings? I have not weighed. The main weight savings is not having the balance lead on there. The BT 3.0 itself, compared to an XT30, it is a little bit lighter, but it's not that much lighter. My guess is going to be that it saves 2 grams, maybe 3 grams, just because, like, you know, balance lead, the plastic of the balance lead, and then 3, 28, 26 gauge wires. I'm tempted to just, like, cut this off and weigh it, but the other thing, though, is that on BT 3.0, you can run those you can run these Tiny Whoop 300 mAh batteries, which are just awesome. And these batteries are probably lighter than any of the other 2S batteries that exist. So you'll probably save a significant amount of weight here as well. So yeah, but if you're already happy with the way that it flies, and you're already getting the runtime that you're looking for, I mean, lightening it up, yeah, it's going to corner better, and you're going to get better runtime, but I don't know, it's going to be a pain in the ass. You're going to have to buy a BT 3.0 charger. You're going to have to buy the leads on the quad side. Something I will absolutely say is that the wire length that Beta FPV has on the, this is not a BT 3.0, but I'm just using this as an example. The wire length that they have on the BT 3.0 leads is stupid. It is like a little bit too short. And then it's a 90-degree connector. So that is potentially super annoying, for the record. Of course, you can just extend the wires, but, like, I'd rather put my dick in a vise. Like, come on, man. What? Why? Why would you not make the leads a half an inch longer and then we cut them down? What world are we living in? Like, and they don't sell it. Well, let's see. They haven't sold it, but maybe they've come to their senses. I guarantee you they haven't, but let's see. BT 3.0. So it's going to be... Nope, they just sell it in that one length. You see how it looks kind of short here? That's because it is. This is insane. This is insane that they made it this short. I can't even. And, like, you have to run this. You can't get these adapters and cut them off because they're 3-wired. They've got that balance wire in here. You can't. I was about to say you can't do these because, again, they've got the 3 pins, but I don't know. I mean, I guess in this case they're just leaving that 3rd pin blank. I don't know how BT 3.0 really works. Maybe you can get, it wouldn't be these. It would be, maybe you can buy these and then just don't connect anything to the 3rd pin, I guess. but like which pin is which, they probably don't tell you anything here. Oh, the dimensions. Wow, that's really important. How about... there we go. Okay, so it's the top... Yeah, go figure. It's the top pin. So I guess... I get... Yeah, look at it. Look at it. Look. 30 millimeters. Come on now. Are you kidding me? Why? Why would you make it 30 millimeters? Like, if you're lucky, that's going to be the exact right length. But, like, look, like... This AIO that I guess they designed and sized that for, it's got these battery pads hanging way the hell off the back. You can't put that on any frame. That is just for their specific frame. Like, talk about short-sighted. What the hell? Other than this, though, this is my only real complaint about BT 3.0 is how obnoxiously short this is. So, yeah. Extending wires is just stupid. Like, what year is this? Frosty, thanks again for the $15 super chat. Yeah, BT 3.0 is awesome. It's also, like, it's a good connector. It's easy to unplug. It plugs in solidly. Yeah. It's made me realize that XT30 kind of sucks. XT30, like the XT30 on this thing, like every time I go to unplug the battery, like it's a little bit of a struggle. BT 3.0, it just pops right out. Mainly because of the shape of it and the fact that it's like a 90-degree, but yeah, it's good. Curtis Hayes says Air 75 21 grams. That's really light, man. It's really, really light. J Monk says, does the Velocidrone have RC drift cars map? They do. The drift cars are basically like model trains in that they don't really slow down in a logical way, but it's still really good practice, and it's fun. I think you have to pay a couple bucks for it. I think it's like $5 extra for the drift car track and setup, but you're supporting a good cause. Metadirtskin says, looks like Flywoo has one with both VTX and ELRS, and one with ELRS only, both 1 and 2S. Okay, cool. So that might be what I do after the X12. But Thrash FPV is over 100 batteries deep into 2S on an X12. That's super impressive. Maybe the X12 is going to be totally fine. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I've had such good luck with the Happy Model 2G4 and luck with the X12. But I'll tell you what, Happy Model boards don't have the UFLs ripping off all over the goddamn place. Oh wait, that's not true. on my Mobula 6 2024 V2 AIO, the UFL ripped off. What is happening? What is it? Why are like all of the modern boards having the UFLs rip off? I don't think I've had that happen to a single 2G4. It hasn't happened on my X12s. I don't get it. What is going on? Teleport FPV says, best frame you would run. No such thing as best, just different. Best motor, best AIO, best battery. Yeah, no such thing, Teleport. There's only different. Sometimes there's stuff that's just garbage, but there's never a best because everybody is different. I'm a completely different person than you. I fly totally different. I crash totally different. I demand a different level of flight performance. And yeah, so there's never a best. When you go on Facebook, when you go on Reddit and you ask that question, 100 people are going to tell you what their favorite stuff is. But they're not going to say that. They're just going to say that, oh, the best is this. Those are people that you do not want to ever listen to. More than 50% of the advice, the answers, the info on Facebook and Reddit is dead ass wrong. Not even like, oh, that's just your opinion, man. Just wrong. Answers to questions completely wrong. People like are so desperate to help and to whatever that yeah, people with 10 days into the hobby act like they know everything and answer questions emphatically. So yeah, avoid at all costs. But the question that you just asked is an impossible to answer question. I think you might be messing with me, but yeah, that's an impossible to answer question. To get to figure out what is the best performing frame, motor, AIO, battery for you, you would need to tell someone with a lot of experience where you're flying, how often you crash, how long you've been flying, what runtime you're looking for, what sort of a power to weight ratio you want, who your favorite pilot is, what are you doing with the footage, what camera are you picking up. Over on my Fiverr page, I have a service called Build Planning, and this is exactly what I do. I have a list of like 20 questions that I ask you, and the answers to all of those questions are the only way for me to get you into that ballpark. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars and over 8 years of my life getting to this point, because you just have to buy all the stuff and you just have to try it all. And you have to talk to lots of people, and you have to, figure out the people that actually know what's what and the people that don't. It's super, super, super difficult. And so most folks go down that rabbit hole themselves, and they pick the frame that they think is going to be the best. They run it for a while. They see how durable it is. They see how serviceable it is. They see whatever, all these different things. And then they buy a different frame, and they see how that one compares. And then they buy a different frame, and they see how that one compares. And then they've got like a sample size of 3, and they can pick which one of those 3 that they like the best. And then they do the same thing with motors and propellers and batteries and all up weight and cameras and flight controllers and ESCs and receivers and VTXs and antennas. And so I think that my build planning service has a hell of a lot of value to it. Because I can probably save you thousands of dollars of doing all of and hundreds of hours of doing all that stuff yourself. But I understand that just giving somebody $40 or $60 for their time seems insane. But yeah, it's also kind of fun to do that stuff. It's fun to test different things and evaluate and whatnot. But yeah, if you're really looking to get a custom built rig that's as close to like perfect or best for your needs, certainly don't go on Facebook and Reddit and ask anybody for any advice, because the advice you're going to get is either going to be dead ass wrong or just worthless. But yeah, that's it's an impossible question to answer without a 20-minute or so conversation about what your goals and needs and experience and stuff like that are. Ivan says JHE MCU F411 ELRS $30, Jesus, or F411 ELVTX $50 on Ali. I won't order from AliExpress. Seems like a good option. Shame that the new Beta FPV 5-in-1 is so fragile. Yeah, it really is. And I've heard of a lot of people complaining about the Beta FPV 5-in-1 and the 4-in-1 being super fragile. Most of those folks are racers, and racers are brutal on AIOs. So I kind of take that with a grain of salt. I was really hoping that this would be durable enough for freestyle. And then the fucking UFL broke off. So Levi FPV says, don't know if you saw this. It was right at the beginning. What version of Beta FPV 1102? What do you mean? There's a normal and there's a normal and a 2022 version on the Beta FPV website. I have no idea. I have the old version on the 2S Walksnail rig and on one of my tiny lifters, and they seem okay. I have the 2022 version on in the higher KV, in the 22,000 kV on something, a 75mm 1S rig, and they seem okay too. They put no information on their website about whether or not they changed anything on the 2022 version. So the cynical side of me says they didn't change shit and they just made the bell look cooler. And then, yeah, hey, buy the 2022 version. It looks better. This is my don't say that it's actually better face. If it was actually better, I feel like they would have said it's better because, right? So my guess is that they just added red to the bell, and now people are going to think that it's better and buy them, and hey, that was worth having new bells made. But I don't know. Yeah, they don't say anything about it. It doesn't. They don't seem any different to me. 661 says the middle pin on BT 3.0 is the balance wire, only needed on the battery for charging, not needed on the quad side. Very cool. I had a feeling. Frosty says, got you, homie. Thrash FPV says, if I wanted to change an XT30 to BT 3.0, could I just cut the balance leads off? If you're talking about on the battery side, I don't think so, because what the hell? Like, the balance lead has 3 wires. Like, what? You got to combine those 3 wires into one? Obviously, you can't do that because it'll explode. How do you do it? How the hell? I don't understand the BT 3.0 at all. I don't understand how, like, what are they doing? Where is that one? It's 2 lithium polymer pouches that normally require 3 wires. I understand that one of these 3 wires is ground, so they're just piggybacking that off this ground wire. But how the hell are they taking the other 2 wires and combining them to one? Are they just combining them? Is that okay? I don't get it. I don't get how BT 3.0 works, but it obviously works. So I kind of don't need to understand it. But yeah, I don't get it. My assumption is that they've just taken the 2 non-ground balance leads and done that to them. What else would they have done? It's they haven't redesigned the way the batteries work, you know. So yeah, I'm not sure. Hell, you might be able to just cut the balance leads off, but you're gonna have to take you're almost certainly gonna have to take the 2 signal non-ground balance leads and solder them together to the one single signal pin. And if you're gonna do that, do it with the battery at 3.5 volts to create the minimal amount of fire if it goes poorly. 661 says, you realize the X12 comes in the Mobula 8. They run 2S. I do, but I've had a couple X12s let go on 1S. And so it's like, how's it going to do on 2S if it can't even handle 1S? And I don't know. It's Happy Model. Like, I will forever be a little bit wary of Happy Model stuff. It's really inexpensive, and inexpensive stuff is typically not the best. And lots of people look. Happy Model made the Diamond, arguably the worst Tiny Whoop AIO of all time, and so like I will never forget that. I will never forget that Happy Model made that heap of shit. And so like the thought of running 2S on also. When there's an AIO that says that it's 1S and 2S, I'm always sketched out because it's like, oh shit, we're pushing this thing to its absolute limit, right? Like, I would much rather have something that's like 1S to 3S or 2S to 3S and then run, you know what I mean? Same kind of deal with Cinewhoops and whatnot, right? Like, you buy a 20 by 20, like my 03 Cinewhoop that I built earlier this year. That was totally fine on 4S. The first 6S battery that I put on it, the ESC just implodes. It was an ESC that was rated for up to 6S. It was completely fine on 4S, but then when I pushed it to its limit of 6S, it blew up, even though it was flying totally fine. So yeah, I just pushing stuff to its. I try not to push stuff to its absolute limit because I know that I pound the shit out of stuff, and so if I'm gonna pound on something, if I can not push it to its voltage limit and leave it backed off a little bit, it's in theory, it's going to last longer. It depends on what fails, though. You know, when the gyro is what fails, voltage didn't matter, right? Gyros fail from impact. So yeah. Wyatt Tincher, I believe that is. I'm the engineer of a drone team through the Norway High School Robotics Program. That's a fucking cool job right there. I was looking to see if you would support our team through knowledge and advice on our design and equipment. Wyatt, if you have any questions, for sure ask them. And admittedly, I am pretty like I would absolutely love to help. Don't get me wrong, I really would. But the life doing FPV full time is insane. And I am a little bit beyond my limits of what I have time for at the moment. I will try my absolute best though, because that is a great cause. And so, yeah, you're more than welcome on any of my live streams to come and ask questions. And I will probably prioritize you just because like you're asking for like such a good cause. So yeah, 10 hours plus live stream a week. Feel free to come by anytime, ask questions. Feel free to remind me that you're the engineer guy with the high school robotics. I'll hopefully remember, but yeah, I will absolutely try my best. Yeah, that's what I can say. I can't tell you that, you know, I can devote a couple hours a week to it. Unfortunately, I just don't have it. I just don't have that kind of time to donate. If you were to hire me through Fiverr, like, yeah, for sure. But I am maxed out at the moment on like volunteer time. It's basically it's difficult to make money doing FPV full time, and so the thing that I spend a lot of time with, and the hardest part of this job is basically prioritizing things and trying to find things that make actual money. And so, yeah, as much as I would love to donate a bunch of time, and there are times during the year that I do have extra time, but right now is not one of them. So yeah, but again, any live stream that I'm ever doing, come into the chat, hammer me with as many questions as you would like, within reason, of course, and I will try my best. Thank you for helping kids engineer shit. That sounds like an absolute blast. I'm sure it's a lot of work as well, but you're doing something awesome, dude. You should feel great at the end of every exhausting day, I'm sure. Teleport FPV says, I'm new to all of this, making things stuff. Would you even be interested in messing with a new frame from a nobody? Unfortunately not, Teleport. I have people ask me a lot if I'll help them with their frame design, or just, you know, hey, I want to send you a frame. Someone sending me a frame is me signing up for like 10 hours of work for free. If you want to send me a frame and $1,000, that's a whole different conversation, but I'm sure you don't, right? Like, and so, yeah, it's funny you asked this now. I was just, you know, what I was just talking about kind of applies. I would love to. I would absolutely love to help somebody make a cool new frame, but the cold hard reality is that it is 10 plus hours of work for me. It's a full build, and then it's flying it, logging it, communicating with you about it, breaking it, repairing it, right? This is frame design. This is how to properly design a frame. It's not just throw a bunch of shit in it and make sure that it flies. Like, any frame will fly. You can dump enough filters on any frame to get it up in the air and it flies. That doesn't make a good frame. A good frame is one that's serviceable. It crashes really well. The black box logs look good. There's no like weird resonances. It's hard to do. It's very, very, very difficult to make a frame. It is hundreds of hours of work on your side, right? Like on my side, if I'm lucky, it's only 10 plus hours. The actual frame designer to come up with a properly good frame, it's hundreds of hours of work. And it's also working with multiple people, right? Like, you send it to me, I build it a specific way, I crash it a specific way. Every single other person that's exactly like me, which is not many people, are going to have my same experience. Then somebody's going to fly it long range, and maybe it sucks for long range. Somebody's going to fly it just around grass. Maybe it sucks around grass, right? Like, it's incredibly difficult. I hate that this is all basically me telling you not to do it. But like, yeah, just understand that it's a lot of work for the person that, and it's, you know, you're sending someone a free frame, so it's like, in your eyes it's like, well, I'm doing something nice for you, but the real situation is that, like, you're asking me to do 10 plus hours of work for free, and unfortunately I don't make enough money to do that. If at some point some aspect of FPV becomes super lucrative and I don't have to prioritize things that make money, I would love to help more people out with that kind of thing. But yeah, at the moment it's just not something that I can do. I apologize. But yeah, I'm also like incredibly behind. I have an entire IKEA filled with builds that are waiting to be done. So we've got like an Apex over here. This is a Joshua Bardwell frame and his flight controller. This is actually a 5-inch racing rig. This is a QAVS with some flight controller and ESC that T-Motor sent me to test, the Velox stuff. This is the toothpick cube here. That's actually my 3-inch frame that Ryan Harrell designed for me that I still haven't gotten a build done yet with. That is a D-Quad Mini LRX. That is a 2-inch Rip Squeak. This is the 250 that's in pieces again. Those are actually working rigs. These two are both, all three of these cubes are just working builds. So it's not that bad. It's all down here that's tough. And then I've got this is like the on deck circle here. This 5-inch rig needs repair. These are toothpicks here. These are the 2-inch 2S Walksnail rig, extra frames with motors that need testing. This is that extra Blitz AIO that I need to put into something. I'm swapping the antenna on this tiny whoop here. These guys need to get flown here. This is a 802 33,000 kV and 36,000 kV. This was sent to me by Cloudhopper. I got to find some time to get these two guys up in the air. Yeah. There's a lot going on. I need to. It's probably, I don't know. It's probably not great for my mental health to have this many things in flux, but I don't want to just like. I want to get this shit done. I don't want to just sell these. You know, like, these are all builds that I do genuinely want to get together and fly, but it's just not enough time in the day. Aaron Mueller says, how much flying have you done with the new HDZero AIO, and what's your opinion on the durability? I've not flown it nearly enough to have an opinion on the durability. I'm probably only 6 or 7 batteries into it. It's heavier than the analog rigs, and the video quality is not better enough that I really pick it up to fly it. If somebody in chat says, hey, can you please fly it so that I can see it, I will absolutely fly it. We were talking about this on yesterday's live stream. But for me, when I'm just here testing stuff, whatever, getting my 6 batteries a day in, I don't pick it up to fly it. This has been my problem with HDZero from the jump, is that it's heavier and the image quality is not that much better. And I for whatever reason, I find the way that it breaks up to be way more distracting than the way that analog breaks up. It's also a lot more expensive than analog. And so I'm just not the guy. I'm not the guy for the HDZero rig. I'm super grateful that Kevin Sumner snagged one and sent it to me. And I did the build, and I have flown it a few. I think all of the batteries that I've actually flown on it have been during these live streams. It seems to be pretty durable. The people that have flown a lot of batteries on it have flown a lot of batteries and crashed it hard, and it seems to be okay. But true durability, in my opinion, comes 200, 300, 400 batteries in. That's what has impressed me so much about the 2G4 Happy Model AIOs, is that I've got ones with like 400, 500 batteries through them, and they're still going strong. That is proper durability to me. Like 100 batteries is pretty goddamn good, especially with what this stuff costs for Tiny Whoops. But yeah, to really impress me, you got to get to like 200, 300, 400, and that takes a long time. And like that, that it's got to be a rig that you really want to fly to put 100 plus batteries into it, right? Like my HDZero build, if I want really good quality video, I'm gonna fly the Walksnail rigs. If I want really good flight performance, I'm gonna fly my analog rigs. What motivation do I have to fly the one that's in between? I'm not being paid by HDZero to give them durability feedback. I would love to have infinite time to be able to fly the shit out of it to give you guys durability feedback, but I don't, so it's super tough. But if you're getting into the hobby and you're thinking about buying analog goggles versus HDZero goggles, it makes an awful lot of sense, and it's a hell of a product. But I have multiple pairs of analog goggles, and so for me, it's in this weird spot. I also don't race, right? I'm freestyle only. For racers, it starts to make a lot more sense. So there are people that it makes an awful lot of sense for. I'm just not one of them, unfortunately. 661 says, do you understand how balancing works? Apparently, it sounds like I don't from what you just said. In a balance wire, it connects to the voltage of each individual cell, so each cell gets charged individually. Okay, yeah, that was pretty much how I understood it. Thrash FPV says, so I bridged 2 capacitors on my AIO when soldering some pads. When trying to remove the bridge, I knocked the capacitor off and get a black screen and no OSD. Is it trashed or external VTX fix it? Oh, you might be able to fix it with an external VTX. It kind of depends on the AIO. Certain AIOs will have a way of turning off their internal VTX. Well, you might have already turned off the internal VTX. I can't give you a straight answer. I don't know what AIO it is, and that's, even if I did know the specific AIO, I probably still wouldn't be able to answer it. Do it. Grab an external VTX. If you don't have one, just snag one. Eventually, you'll need it. And give it a shot. There's no reason not to give it a try. Like a little external VTX you'll use at some point, so you're not wasting that $25, $30, whatever they are. So yeah. 661 says, so on a 2S balance wire, there are 3 wires. It's negative, then the middle wire is the connection between cell 1 and cell 2. The third wire is positive. Oh, okay. I actually did not know that. That's interesting. I'm not great at electricity in general. I have no background whatsoever. Everything that I know about electricity I've learned from FPV, so it's not very much. So I don't even fully understand that, if I'm completely honest. But yeah, I'd understand it a little bit better now. Thrash FPV says, I can't believe the Diamond AIO is still sold. Yes, seriously. 661 also says, so on a 6S lipo, the balance lead has 7 wires, giving the voltage of each cell individually in the lipo. Yeah, my understanding of it was that there's the ground wire, and then each individual cell has its own balance wire. That's the name balance wire, so that, yeah, you can charge them you can balance them because you have an individual connection to each cell. So I think that I kind of understood it. I don't know. Justin put a comma after CiottiFPV, so it didn't light up in orange, but I did just happen to see it. He says, on a 2S, the main negative and positive are the same as the negative and positive of the balance lead. The middle wire on the balance lead goes to the positive of the first cell, so BT 3.0 just deletes the extra negative and positive wire. Hope that makes sense. It doesn't. But I'm sure it makes sense to someone that has a brain with wrinkles in it. My brain, unfortunately, is very smooth. And so certain things I just can't wrap my head around. And that's one of them. I apologize in advance. My computer is freaking out. Stop it! Wyatt says, I really appreciate your consideration. I can contact you on Fiverr and have no problem compensating you for your time. Sounds good, brother. Let me know. CiottiFPV.com has a bunch of different ways that you can contact me. Fiverr is actually a pretty bad way of contacting me. Fiverr's messenger service is awful. So much better bet is to just jump to CiottiFPV.com. My email is up on the top there. My Instagram is linked there. You can message me on Instagram, Facebook as well. Instagram is where I spend most of my time. That's where all of the FPV flying gigs are. So that's where I do most of my marketing. Facebook Messenger is okay. Fiverr's Messenger is pretty miserable. If you want to hire me through Fiverr, because Fiverr will provide you some amount of like protection, right, in case I bail or something, that's totally fine. But if possible, let's talk on Instagram or email or Facebook, just because Fiverr's Messenger basically, like, it doesn't give me any notifications whatsoever. I have to go to Fiverr's website to find messages, and I don't go to Fiverr's website every day. So yeah, if possible, don't use Fiverr's Messenger. But if you do, and I don't get back to you for a couple days, that's what's happening. They don't send me any notifications that you've sent me a message. They only send me notifications when an actual order comes through. And then it's still annoying because even though there's an open order, when you message me inside of that order, they don't let me know. It's maddening. But if you're okay with me replying back every 2 or 3 or 4 days, then sure, use Fiverr's Messenger, because that's about what you'll get, unfortunately. Thrash FPV says, with a long-range setup, you don't break much. Would you still prefer a serviceable frame or one with the flight characteristics, but that isn't as easy to work on, like Chris Rosser's frame? Yeah, I mean, like, it's a great example of where, like, you know, a frame that I might hate because I fly freestyle, a long-range pilot might absolutely love, right? Like, yeah, a long-range frame, you're not taking it apart constantly. So if you have, like, weird carbon components that lock together in some stupid way that's a pain in the ass to take apart, it kind of doesn't matter on a long-range frame. Like, yes, it's going to suck the first time you take it apart, and when you go to like change components at some point, but you're not going to be like going out to fly, demolishing it, coming back, taking it apart, going out to fly, demolish it, come back, take it apart, right? And so, yeah, like a long range frame, for me, if I was going to do that, I would look for a frame that has the minimal, the least amount of obstructions under the propellers, right? Obstructing thrust. So like a frame with like skinny arms, tall but skinny arms, maybe like an A-arm design would be what I was looking for, so that it's more aerodynamic to let the thrust pass down through it. And then you're looking for a frame that can hold a gigantic battery. I'd be looking for something that's got the GoPro in a position where there's no propellers in view. I'd be looking for something where I can push the battery pretty far back to offset the nose heavy weight of the GoPro. You want the center of gravity front to rear to be as balanced as possible. This way the front motors aren't working like super hard because they've got that heavy I mean, it also depends, right? Do you even want to carry a GoPro? If you're doing long range for the sake of doing long range, then you don't even need it to hold the GoPro. Just like put an O3 system or whatever on there, and away you go. For me, a long range setup would be for cinematic flying, so I would have to have a GoPro mount as far forward as possible to get the props out of view. But yeah, what frame each and every one of us go with is a very, very personal decision. And like when I see all these people on Facebook and Reddit saying like, oh, the Apex is the best frame, it's just like, wow, you don't know shit. Like just saying that proves that you don't know anything. You know what I'm saying? Like just to say that like this frame is the best and not qualify it with anything else is just insane. Like that's a dead giveaway that person has no understanding, and they haven't been into FPV long enough to understand that there are frames that do certain things really well. There are frames that do other things really well. And it's just such an insane thing to me. I don't understand how so many people do that. It's just like so short-sighted. But hey, people gonna people. Metal Dirtskin says, I already know the backlog I have is bad for mental health, but I just don't know any other way to do it. Yeah, me too. Like, and I love having this area right here is a fucking mess. Like my little studio / workspace area has shit everywhere. That is not me. The entire rest of like my life and my world is very organized and very I like having a clean, like having the coffee table be clean, and like the other Kallax over there be clean, and like the fucking bar cart be like orderly and clean. I love that. Like I love that like aesthetic of like simplicity. I've done that before with my workspace. And the problem is that like these other little projects when I put them away, I forget about them, and they just get buried for like 6 months. And then I'm like, oh fuck, that's right, I wanted to work on that. And so like my area here is a hot mess because I strategically kind of like put shit that I want to remember. Like I have this set of vegan motors sitting right here because I want to remember that I'm doing something with them. And then you know what I mean? And so like this, it's weird, like this strangely like has to kind of be a mess so that I don't remember, so I don't forget that I want to do something with this VTX, and that I want to do something with this sub 250 1002 20,000 kV motor. And so yeah, it's weird because it's like bad for my mental health, but it's good for not forgetting about the little projects here and there. Yeah. I don't have the answers. Ivan says the only best is the ORT Micro V. Yeah. BMF Spade FPV says ideally hope that HDZero makes a better canopy for their freestyle 2024 bind and fly. Yeah, amen to that. That canopy that they have seems awful sketchy. Curtis Hayes says you flew the HDZero at the mall you got kicked out of. I did. I very specifically forced myself to, you know why I did? Is because I was bringing the HDZero goggles to fly the analog rigs. And I just happened to have, here's an example of it. I just happened to have left the HDZero rig sitting right here because I felt bad only having flown a few batteries on it. And so when I was packing my shit to go fly at the mall, it was sitting right here, and I was like, oh, perfect. I'll have the fucking HDZero goggles with me. Let me bring the damn thing. I'm sure that someone wants to see me fly it a little bit more, and so that's why I flew it that day. So yeah, what a segue! What a segue between topics. Wade Cloyd with a $1 super chat. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. No comment. Just wants to support the insanity. Oh, here he goes. Wade Cloud says, just heard you speaking of ripsqueak is why I asked about 2-inch. I don't see a question about 2-inch, Wade. Did YouTube delete your question? Tag me again and ask me your question about 2-inch. I don't see any questions in the chat from you. So yeah, tag me again, type CiottiFPV, and ask me your 2-inch question. Teleport FPV says compensation is a given. I wouldn't have asked otherwise. So roughly 1,000 to test a 5-inch frame. Is that fair, man? contact me and we'll figure it out. I was just throwing that number out because I had mentioned 10 hours, and I basically charge $100 an hour for stuff that I don't love doing. I don't love building. And so someone sending me a frame is signing me up for a whole bunch of building, because I'm going to have to do the initial build. Typically builds take me 6 to 8 hours because I build clean. And then I'm going to have to rebuild and repair as I break arms and as I break different things on it. And that's going to at least add another couple of hours. So yeah, I was just kind of pulling that number out of my ass, but message me. All my contact info is on CiottiFPV.com. And let's talk more about it. If it's like a long range frame, I just don't do that. And so I would probably like say no to that. If it's a freestyle or like a cinematic frame where like I probably have a set of motors that makes sense. I probably have an ESC that will fit in it, stuff like that, right? So yeah, message me and we'll talk more and figure it out. Justin says pictures help, but YouTube ... What's that in reference to? 661FPV says, LOL, we forgive you, unlike Blunty. He also says, I think Blunty secretly loves me and is just upset when he sees me in chat. Oh, shit. Blunty gets grumpy sometimes. I love the guy. I really do. He does a lot for FPV. But boy, he like freaks out sometimes. I mean, I'm one to talk about freaking out, but here we go. Wade says, what's your favorite 2-inch build for freestyle? What weight, what motors for 1 to 3S? Wade, man, I got to tell you, I got to be really honest. I have not had a 2-inch build in 5 years, maybe 6 years. 2-inch is a strange size. It's not big enough to really comfortably carry an action camera, but then it's not small enough to fly. It's certainly not small enough to fly in the house. Depending on how you build it out, it's arguably not small enough to fly like front yard, backyard. The 2-inch tiny whoop stuff is kind of interesting because the ducts are going to slow it down enough where it can sort of be yeah, I 2 inches is really difficult. I've not had one in a long time, and I really try not to talk about stuff that I haven't personally flown 1,000 batteries on, or at least have flown within the last 5 or 6 years. So yeah, that's super tough. I straight up don't have a favorite 2-inch build for freestyle because I don't have any. I don't have even one to base that off of. There have been some 2-inch bind and flies recently floating around that I believe Nick Burns has tested a couple of them. So check out Nick Burns's channel, and I'll show you a really cool little trick. On YouTube, if you go to someone's channel page, there's a little magnifying glass here. If you click that magnifying glass, you can search just that person's channel. So go on to Nick Burns' channel and search for 2-inch, and you'll see that it's been 4 years since I flew a 2-inch rig. Emax Tiny Hawk 2. It's not even a 2-inch rig. It's Tiny Hawk 2. My God, I have not had a 2-inch rig in the entire time that I've been live streaming. Oh, here we go. 2-inch versus 3. Yeah, 6 years ago. Oh, boy. Yeah. There you go. I was just about right. 6 years. Man, nothing. That's 3-inch there. Tiny Hawk 2. This is that a 2-inch rig? This might be a 2-inch rig here. 4 years ago. There we go. Yeah, pretty bare. But if you go to Nick Burns' channel and you do that and you search for 2-inch, he's tested a bunch of the bind and flies. Bind and flies are damn good. You can learn a lot from the bind and flies. I mean, every once in a while, a bind and fly is good enough to just buy the damn thing and just fly it. So that you might be able to get away with that. You don't always have to custom build. Custom building used to be really a necessity to have anything that flew decent, but the manufacturers have they've made enough horrible bind and flies, and they've listened to enough of our bitching that they're doing a much better job with them nowadays. So yeah, that might be your ticket. There aren't many options available for 2-inch rigs. I don't know of more than like 1 or 2 frames that even exist. So you might even be like kind of pigeonholed into the bind and flies. I wish I could give you a better answer, because you did super chat me, but I gave you a bunch of stuff to go off of. What weight in motors or 1 to 3S? What I can say unequivocally is no on the 1S, definitely 2S, maybe even 3S. In terms of motors, take a look at the bind and flies that are out there on 2S and look at what motors those guys are running. And then what I always like to do is go a little bit bigger. Bind and flies are almost always a little bit underpowered. So if the bind and flies are all on 1103s, go up to an 1104 or a 1203, right? So just go either a millimeter wider or a millimeter taller on the motor. And then if you can, go a little bit higher on the KV than those guys are all running. And that'll get you a really, really decent setup. Stuff with Caleb says, I'm looking for a Walksnail freestyle tiny whoop. I assume 75mm 2S is preferable. Looking for a Jungle Jim Basher build ideas. Go to my channel and search for some of that stuff. I've done tons of live streams trying to build the exact same thing. My current setup is a Mobula 7 V3 or V4 frame. I haven't decided on motors yet, but the Beta FPV 18,000 kV 1102s are pretty good. The RC and Power 1002 18,000 or 19,000 motors are also good. The T-Motor 1002 18 or 19,000 kV motors are also really good. You're definitely going to want a 1.5mm motor shaft. Gem Fan 1610 propellers are kind of the only option. And then at the moment I'm running the Beta FPV version 3 12 amp AIO with Walksnail stacked on top with M1.2 by 12 screws, and I'm using the old school Mobula 6 canopies, but these are getting hard to find. Cameras, Walksnail light. That's it. That's my setup. If you want to watch lots of flight footage and like lots of testing of this, there's loads of live streams surrounding this build. I've done all of the development of this build on these live streams over the last like 4 or 5 months. So there we go. Caught up on chat just like that. Let's fly a couple of batteries and then I'm out of here. It is after 12 o'clock. Let's go old school Fat Sharks. Oh, it's gonna die again. Wow. Don't live stream, guys. If you of all the things in life that you're gonna do, YouTube just shit the bed. So that was actually YouTube dying. Interesting. Yeah, do anything other than live streaming. The technical challenges around live streaming are just it's just, and it's not just me. I have talked to so many other live streamers that are just like, yo, I'm going to light the entire country on fire because of how awful this is. It's a fucking joke, man. It is an absolute joke. It's just so bad. It's so bad. And it's just constantly bad. Constantly bad. And like it's either YouTube or it's OBS or it's Canon's bullshit software or it's the software that sends the audio from your desktop to OBS. Like it's just insane. It's absolutely ridiculous. Hold on, I gotta plug in the couple of gates here. Oh, God, I almost fell. I got the family Marco's Pizza tonight. Josh Wiseman is a food YouTuber that I've been watching forever. And lately he's been doing What's the Best, which drives me insane, but What's the Best so-and-so. Yesterday he did What's the Best shitty pizza. So he tested like Domino's, Pizza Hut, a whole bunch of different places. And Marco's destroyed everyone else. And so, yeah, I went out and got Marco's Pizza. It was all right. I don't know. I think I still like Pizza Hut better, but it was totally fine. And it's and the Marco's that we went to was in a fucking gas station. So it was like, yo, for gas station pizza, this is damn good. I don't know where Teddy is, Uriel. I have no idea. Well, here's how you get Teddy. Here's how you get Teddy to come. I just fixed the 32,000 kV rig. I swapped the motor because that bell slipped again, even after I fixed it with the magical Loctite stuff. So let's fly this real quick. I'm going to actually charge up a bunch of batteries for it. This is how you get Teddy to come. This is how I get Teddy to show up. Ready? This is how I do it now. Hold on. Here's what I do. Ready? He must be sleeping. I'll go up and get him. I'll go up and get him just for you guys. Oh, the fucking VRX needs to be unplugged again. Or it's the VRX that needs to be unplugged every time. Or it's just like the technical challenges are ridiculous. Like, why is it so fucking hard? Actually, I know why it's hard. It's because like nobody does it. It's still like a new thing, you know? If everybody was live streaming, it would be... There would be gear that... Stop that! Stop it! Stop beeping! Oh my god. Why me? The battery is half filled. Why are you beeping? Oh, old fat sharks, I hate you so much, but I love you so much. And now it's fine. All I had to do is turn it off and on. Great. Great. Alright, let's see if we can get this dog. Who does he think he is? Not coming when the tiny whoop calls him. He's probably asleep on the Papasan chair upstairs. Let's go check. I can hear him. He just jumped off the Papasan chair. Ready? He's going to come right down these stairs. There he is! I knew he was on the Papasan chair. I knew it. Yo, for anybody that hasn't seen Teddy lately, tell me that his new haircut does not make him look so fucking angry. Look how angry this dog looks. Teddy, why is your face so angry now, bro? What do you have to be angry about? I almost just hit him. Why is this battery dead already? Ooh, this battery feels like shit. I can, like, hear that it's not winding up, and it's sitting down at 5.5 volts. Oh! Where is he? Why so lazy, buddy? Why are you so tired? What do you have to do all day? Look how angry he looks. Look at that angry face. He doesn't care at all tonight. Oh my god. How did I hit that? Oh my god. Yeah, this battery feels terrible. I think this battery might just be dunzo. Oh, man. Wow, 1 minute and 30 seconds and I'm getting low battery warnings already. Yeah, this battery's shot. So this is what a battery that has really high internal resistances flies like. It's fully charged. We're still getting runtime. So we're at, oh my god, I almost got that stuck on my fucking hair. We're still getting some runtime out of it, right? Like it's fully charged. Everything this dog does makes me laugh. Everything. Wipes his face. Attacks the tiny whoop. Everything. Looks angry. Look at him. Look at him from back here. Look how angry he looks. What is your deal, bro? You have nothing to be angry about. So we're still getting... we're not getting great runtime, but we're still getting half-decent runtime, but the battery sags, and it sits at like 3.5, 3.6 volts the entire battery. That is a battery that you have either cycled a whole bunch of times, and it's just done, or it's a battery that you've over-discharged a couple times, and you've hurt it. So, yeah, this is pretty much junk. What's interesting is, so it was down at like 3.1 volts, but look at that. With no load on it, it's bouncing all the way back up to almost storage voltage. That is a battery that needs to go away forever. That is the internal resistances are super high, and yeah, it's just junk. That's when it's time to go. There's a big old ball of fluff in this right front motor. Holy shit. Hold on, this is actually like... These motors will run with a lot of hair clogged up in them, but there is a point where the amount of hair clogged up in them becomes like not aerodynamic, and it actually really does negatively affect them. It's nothing like the brushed motors of the olden Tiny Whoop days. But yeah, eventually you do have to clean these motors out a little bit. Get out of there. Come on. Get out. Where did I crash this that it picked up this? Oh, it was the stairwell. It was the stairwell. I gotta vacuum that stairwell. Okay, now we're good. So that's that was flying pretty shitty. Watch this. I'm gonna put another battery on, and it's gonna be fine. Islander FPV says, I think you said you built a 65mm Walksnail rig at some point. If so, I'd love to see it fly, or any other Walksnail rig thinking of adding HD to the mix. Damn you. All right, I'll do it. Hold on, let me find out. I want to show you the difference between a jank battery that needs to be retired and a good battery. I'm bitching and moaning because to set the Walksnail thing up, I gotta stand up and plug a thing in. I got a tough life, man. Another one of those little LED PCBs on the back of this thing. Love them. Absolutely love them. Hello, angry dog. All right, so in theory, this is not a jacked up battery, and it'll perform decent. Let's see. I'll be able to tell you pretty quick. Whoa. Look at him. Look at how... Have you ever seen a dog that angry? Look at his face. Look how fucking upset. Yep, no, this is a good one. So this is what a good battery flies like. Look at where the voltage is sitting. 4 volts. 4.02. And then when I go full throttle, it actually does something. It doesn't just take a big shit. Well, okay, and it falls down behind the goddamn... Don't! Yes! Happy days! So this is an ultimate freestyle Tiny Whoop, which means it is a Newbie Drone Cockroach V3 frame with a Happy Model 2G4 AIO, the best Tiny Whoop AIO of all time. Micro V antenna. Tiny Whoop 0702 32,000 kV Moon Traveler motors. And at the moment, I've got the HQ Ultralight tri-blades on it. These motors match really well with those props. I tried to do here's what I tried to do. I tried to do this little thing. Go up here and then just go whoop. And dive down. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is like my favorite all-arounder in terms of like has a good amount of power, not like mega power, but plenty. Oh man, we were inverted for a long time on that one. Come on, come on. Oh. This will be the rig that I test the, Get you some! Oh, you son of a bitch. That I will be testing the lower pitch HQ props on. Even though I feel like they would be better on a, on the 36,000 kV motors. I don't necessarily want to put 36,000 kV motors on anything other than a biblade. That's just so much RPM. Teddy Spaghetti! Why so angry? Hey! Something got me. Ah, man. I don't do this little throw often. And it shows. See if I can get it. Ah! These newbie drone gates are like just small enough where they're really difficult to get through when you're not just like flying through them. Like you can very easily just fly through them, but like to try to get through them off throttle, throwing yourself halfway across the room is really difficult. And that's the way I prefer to get through gates. Is like a motherfucking G. Hey, this battery's done. There you go. 3 minutes and 35 seconds hammering the balls out of it. That's a proper battery. Like, the difference between a beat-ass battery and a somewhat fresh battery is insane. This is not even like a fresh battery. This has been cycled a bunch of times. It's really incredible. The difference that a fresh battery makes. All right, let's go over to... wait, no, hold on. So this fella is all set and happy and flies great again. I love this build. This is also my Trans Pride build with the light blue and pink jib jabs. Shout out to all the trans kings and queens out there getting very unfairly treated by lots of people when all they want to do is just exist. Is that too much to fucking ask? You don't know what their experience is, so shut the fuck up. Like, nobody comes and busts your balls for no reason. Why do it to anyone else? Preaching to the choir. I've got a very intelligent and evolved audience around these parts. All right. I wanted to fly this guy in the house with the crazy maniac motors. This will be kind of insane to see this after that. Orange. By the way, I've now got these very cool little jib jabs in a bunch of different colors. I've got white from that tiny whoop order. I've got red, and I've got, was it green? Yeah, green. Yeah, buddy. Oh, YouTube's crashing for you guys too. Awesome. Way to go, YouTube. Even viewers hate you. Look at that beard. What's up, Apache Smoke? How are you, brother? Metal Nerdskin says, I found out my batteries would start sagging bad when the battery connector got super worn out. Less of an issue on BT 2.0, but still. Yep, absolutely. That was something that plagued PH 2.0. Look at all the vibrations from these 1mm motor shaft motors. Oh boy. The other big thing to notice about like 75 versus 65, these are some of the, if not the most powerful 1S 75mm motors, with the lightest weight bi-blades that are made. The response time, the difference in like the immediate reactions here is like wild. I can really feel it because I'm on the sticks, but you guys can... Oh! I have to go get that. Don't turtle mode inside of plants. All right. All's well. Yeah, there's a huge difference in response time. Oh my god, why? Oh! Oh, that was a very lucky landing. Oh, that was huge. Get you some, my friends. Flying half decent tonight. No! I'm not. Yes, I am. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't. No, I can see the right front motor not spinning up. There it goes. Oh, no. Is this another failed X12? Oh, that's not a good sign. I mean, I know it did come back to life, but that is not a good sign. It was actually doing that earlier. Woo, shit. I was really trying to force it to go back through the gate there. That wasn't really a proper Matty flip. There's nothing there to be stuck on. Oh god, look out, Teddy. Heads up. Oh my fucking god. It's so busy down here. There's so much shit down here to run into. I've tried like taking stuff out of here, but then it just looks empty. Alright, that's getting awful hot. There it comes down. Okay. Is this VTX like turned all the way up or something? Why does it get so fucking hot? I mean, it's on 100. That's kind of silly. But it's not maxed. 100 milliwatts should not be making it get as hot as it's getting. Rejected! Yeah, the vibrations are just wild. Oh. Instant rejection. That's what I was trying to do. Hey! Ah, we got it. Oh, immediately crash. Ooh, this battery's donezo. Hey. Don't run your batteries down that low. Oh, look at it bouncing back, though. Jesus. Not too bad. So there you go. There's some 65 versus 75 action. In case anybody was wondering. Man, I don't know what to do about this. I just put this goddamn green orange LED on there. I'm really tempted to leave this build together, but like, man, the motors are so banged up. Those vibrations are so ridiculous. We're gonna go over to Walksnail now. Because you guys asked, and if you ask, I will do it. You might have to listen to me bitch for like a couple seconds, but that's okay. I'm not mad at you, I'm just being fucking lazy. Walksnail goggles are here. And then we've got a cable under the table here that I'm going to fish up. And Teddy is going to just attack me for no reason. Buddy, can you just calm down? Can you be happy? I'm pushing his eyebrows back to see if that makes him happy. You look very German right now, buddy. Okay? Be more Swedish. Are the Swedes happy? I mean, they should be happy. They've got universal health care and all kinds of other shit. Lots of drugs. What's not to be happy about? So the request was Walksnail 65, right? Aaron Mueller says, is your Walksnail 1S VTX on 5 volt? No. It runs better on VBAT. So just piggyback it on the battery pads, and it'll run better than putting it on a 5 volt back. It has its own BEC. So don't connect BEC to BEC. Connect like raw voltage to a BEC, as long as that raw voltage is not too high, which in this case it is not. So, hi, small dog. Hi. What do you want from me? You want to be picked up? You certainly don't want to be picked up, but I love picking you up, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to shake the shit out of you, because that's what I like to do. I like to shake this dog. Oh, shit. Don't knock those off the table, buddy. Oh, no. Relax. Relax, little boy. Oh. Ha, Sowenya, isi baba. Om 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 om. Ba 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 ba. Om 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 om. You're, oh God, right in the McGiblets. What if you're putting it on 2S? Look up the voltage range that the Walksnail 1S VTX will take. And if that range, if the top of the range is 2S, I would still recommend you run it off of VBAT. But yeah, look up, and keep in mind, there's an old version of the Walksnail Lite, and there's a new version of the Walksnail Lite. I think the old version, don't quote me on this, but I think the old version might only take up to the top of 1S. There's a chance the old version won't take 2S. That's not true. I have my old one. No, I have it. Yeah, I have the old VTX, and I have it running off of a 5 volt back. The new one, I believe you can put 2S through it. But check it. Check that. It won't be hard to find. I've had to look that up a couple times. Where the hell is the 1S Walksnail rig? It is right here next to me. I didn't even need to get up. There it is. This is a Newbie Cockroach V3 frame, old school Mobula 6 canopy, Weebleed 0702 40,000 kV motors, Gemfan 1210 propellers, Beta FPV 5 amp cross style AIO, Walksnail Lite, TuneRC singularity antenna. That is my freestyle 1S Walksnail build that I practically never fly because it doesn't get great runtime and it's awful heavy, and so it doesn't freestyle all that well. I mean, for a rig that produces 1080 60 frame per second footage, it's insane. But compared to all the analog rigs, it kind of sucks. It doesn't suck. That's being overly harsh. But yeah, it's not as fun to fly as the analog rigs. The footage it gets is awesome, but I don't care what the footage looks like. I care about how these things fly. So these Walksnail builds are super interesting. Like, if you only have Walksnail goggles, awesome. Do it for sure. Same kind of situation as with HDZero, you know? Teddy, don't lick it. Don't lick it. Jesus Christ. Oh, shit. I might need to update this one. Let's see. Let's see if it'll connect with ELRS3. Look at him. He just stands there. Just stands there patiently waiting. Oh, balls. This must still be on. Oh, no, there it is. Yeah, I updated it. Look at me. I am the best. Also, the Walksnail system has considerably more latency. Oh! Oh! Big dog! Hey! So yeah, like, don't get me wrong, it's cool to be able to see where you're going, but like, look at the battery sag already. This battery is not super healthy, I don't think. They don't usually sag down quite that low, quite that fast. I'll do another battery through here. Ooh. Woo! Okay. You gotta fly this rig different. There's a lot. There's a bunch more latency than I'm used to. It's quite a bit heavier than I'm used to. That coupled with this shit ass battery is a rough combo. But good lord, does this footage look good? Like, you take this thing to like a mall and fly around the mall with this, you'll get some cool ass footage that like normal people won't mind watching. You show normal people analog footage and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing with your life? You moron. Let's see what this battery bounces back to. 354, 357, 36, 363, 365. Yeah, no. This battery is like on its way out. But it's not. This is a dog-com battery. This battery claims to be 320 milliamps. I ain't buying it. It's just like all the other 300 mAh BT 2.0 batteries. Curtis Hayes says, HDZero has the best latency, then analog, then it doesn't matter. Yeah, pretty much. All the digital systems other than HDZero have, like, just a little bit too much latency, basically. Why are you so excited only when I first plug the battery in, Teddy? Oh, it's a proximity thing, isn't it? Look at that face. Oh, look at the fluff! You fluffy little bastard, you. Woo! Oh, shit, that was cool looking. Oh, wow, this battery's way worse. Shit, man, I don't have a good battery to put through this thing. I'm sorry, brother. But I'm doing my best here with super saggy batteries. Super saggy buttholes. Ah! Ah! I wanted to go under the desk, but I had a feeling he would be there. Let's try this. Let's just cruise around. Let's just cruise. What do you say? See if we can get some actual runtime out of this. Nope. 404. Runtime not found. Oh boy, Teddy. Oh boy. Ooh, that little bump. This is all the shit that's going up on Etsy. I just gotta make the time to take pictures and write descriptions and handle all that nonsense. Oh my god, battery! Oh no! Well, this battery was pretty wrecked anyway, so now it's proper wrecked. There you go. That's the that's all I got for you. I don't have any more 300 mAh batteries. It's hard on batteries. This build is very, very hard on batteries. I'm actually gonna retire that battery. I think that was a bit much. Yeah, there you go. There's a couple batteries for you. I'm gonna do one more analog battery on a super lightweight rig because I got these little 260 mAh batteries sitting here that need to get run down. So we're gonna go completely opposite side of the I don't know. Just pretend I said a word that makes sense right there. Spectrum. We're gonna go completely opposite side of the spectrum with an ultralight 16.6 gram rig and little 260 mAh battery. This is the Mobula 6 2024 fully upgraded. Moose caca. Oh, I updated this to ELR S3 as well. Look at me go. All right. Super light. Stop beeping. Stop beeping. Stop it! Stop! The fucking battery is half filled, you pieces of shit. God damn you! Why you gotta do it to me? Why do you have to be like this, Fat Shark Goggles? I love Fat Shark Goggles so hard. I love them so much. But goddamn, did they pick the most annoying possible beep. And boy, did they do such an awful job at, I guess, calibrating the voltage thing. Crazy lightweight on high pitch gem fans. My God, this is like going from driving a fucking school bus to a Miata. Oh, fully upgraded other than the motors. This is still on the factory 0702 Happy Model 28,000 kV motors. But what I have done is switch over to the Gemfan 1219S propellers. They are a very pitchy propeller. 19 is a lot of pitch for a tiny whoop propeller. And man, do those propellers wake these motors up. Shit! Woo! That was a recovery and a half there. Ah! Goddamn newbie drone gates, always getting me. Always getting me. Always. Ah! The rejection. Ah. Tried to Matty flip down through the cube. That's always really difficult. Oh, Teddy! Oh, God! I hit him in the side of his face. Sorry, buddy. Oh, now you got a reason to look angry. Wow, he looks way more angry now. Woo! Hey! Ah! Ah, I couldn't decide which way I wanted to go. Woo, shit! Knocked it over. Whoa, where am I? What the hell? What the hell? I think it's in the corner of the couch. Oh no, it's pinned behind the little funny tree that I knocked over. That's funny. All right, friends, last battery of the night. Thanks for hanging. See you guys again on Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Oh God! No! Don't do it. What am I doing? I'm all thrown off. I got no momentum. Now I got some momentum. Oh, newbie drone gates, why do you torture me? I lost my mojo. I'm flying like a buffoon right now. Perfect timing. Thanks for hanging, my friends. Hope you enjoyed. Support me over at CiottiFPV.com. Click a bunch of buttons. Do the affiliate link thing. Join my Patreon. Do the do. See you guys Wednesday at 10. Here's some more flying from Atlanta Pride. Or not. There we go. Please. There it is. Love you guys. Bye.